Hi, my name is Courtney Jones, and I am currently enrolled at the University of Minnesota in the Foundations of Education elementary program. There have been many people and situations in my life that have solidified my desire to teach. These consist of my family, my favorite teacher, my volunteer experiences, and my traveling abroad. I come from a very close family. My mother is a retired elementary and middle school media specialist, and my father is an elementary principal. The fact that both of my parents are educators had a huge impact on my love of education and my future career choice. Early in life, my parents instilled the importance of education and a strong work ethic in my sister and myself. There were times where I didn't understand math concepts or had trouble interpreting certain texts, but with hard work and determination, I was able to work through these obstructions and learn from them. This is something that I hope to show my students, that even when something is challenging, we still need to face it and find a way to overcome the difficulty. Another person that inspired me to enter the teaching field is someone who always had faith in me and never made me feel inadequate. She always had a smile on her face and a great sense of humor throughout the day. Lessons were always intriguing and entertaining in her classroom. Her name is Mrs. Cowan, and she was my second grade teacher. Every day there is something new and exciting happening in Mrs. Cowan's classroom. Even if we were reviewing what we had done the day before, she always had something to hold the class's interest. What I appreciated most about Mrs. Cowan is that she never made myself or anyone else in the class feel inadequate. If a student didn't understand what we were covering that day in class, she would try a different approach and not make the student feel singled out. She was very flexible and always appeared to think on her feet. This is a very important characteristic for teachers and something that I hope to inherit as I begin my teaching. People are not the only ones who inspired me to teach. I have had many experiences that led to teaching. One of these experiences was volunteering. I was very fortunate to have the opportunity to volunteer in classrooms starting in 7th grade. I loved the excitement a student had when they pronounced a word correctly or got a smiley face on their worksheet. I have spent time in many different school settings. Each one of these places brought a new adventure and challenge with it that I was ready to meet. The classroom that had the most impact on me was the classroom at the Ronald McDonald House in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I started volunteering there at the beginning of my sophomore year, and it was truly a life-altering experience. I admired the teacher in that classroom, and I was in awe every time I was there. She worked with all the school-aged children that could attend class. This could be students that were sick or siblings of those students that were ill. This teacher always created a positive and joyful classroom, even in some of the hardest times in these children's lives. I always thought of it as a place where they weren't constantly reminded that they were sick or their siblings were sick. They could just be kids there. I feel like the students at the Ronald McDonald House taught me that a classroom is more than is used more than just academics. It is a second home for them. Their positive attitudes towards life are all something we need to learn. Traveling abroad has taught me so much that I want to share with my future students. I studied abroad in Florence, Italy, the spring semester of my junior year. I had the opportunity to learn about different cultures and different ways of life. This experience opened my eyes to so many new and exciting experiences. While abroad, I couldn't help but think of all the amazing things that my students could have if they had the opportunity to communicate with other students. I hope to set up a program that will allow students to do just this, either through sending letters or using technology to set up a blog.